Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Footy Abroad here on this lovely Tuesday evening. It is well and truly cold, and well and truly we're in winter. It is the 3rd of June, lads. Good evening to you all.
Good evening. Good evening.
Have we got the winter blues yet?
I got the winter black and whites at the moment.
That didn't take long.
Good one. Good one.
There's no. You haven't pre-recorded a video for us this week?
Nah,
I thought it'd be like a weekly thing now.
Not this week. Would have been funny. A weekly thing would be funny. Yeah. Not this week.
So insufferable. Couldn't lose a flag from here, could you?
No,
it's never been done before.
We definitely could.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
What a time to be live.
Yeah. Great time to have a show. Couple of wins on the board. Felt like Carlton lost. Don't know why. But
was the week off good for you guys mentally?
Yeah.
I bet. Came at the right time.
Yep. It's been yeah. I started thinking about Carlton again last night. Hated it again. So dreading Sunday a little bit, if I'm honest. But we'll see. We'll see. Pommy, how are you, mate?
Oh, mate, always good. How is everyone on the panel? Everyone in the audience? How is everyone?
I'm doing pretty well. Bit low energy today at the moment, but
oh yeah,
showing up, feeling good.
Mm-hmm. Well, why don't we start by going around the room and maybe doing a little check-in on, I guess, for the two of you at the top, talk about what happened with the team in the round, and then move that into just a brief, mid-season assessment. So why don't we start at the very top of the ladder with Luke?
Yeah, that was phenomenal. That was a really, really good win. I could get to do that against a team that has been our bogey side for so long, and they really put us to the sword last year. I think they beat us by like 66 points or something, and to have like a 110-point turnaround from that game. I know they're on the ropes a little bit, but usually when teams are on the ropes, we kind of let them in and we just win. But there's a different gear to this Collingwood side this year than there was in 2023, which is really nice. I think that just comes with maturity and a bit more depth than we had. It's probably one of the best home and away wins that we've had in a long time as well. And that's not including like, last gasp winners and stuff like this, but this was a nice 4-quarter performance by a team that I personally think we're not even peaking just yet. I think we're just doing what we need to do. A bit like 2023. Yeah, look, mid-season, we have our bye in 2 weeks, so we take on Melbourne on Monday. And then we'll have our bye. But yeah, I didn't have us anywhere near here, 10-2 to start the season. You would have taken, 6-6 is what I was hearing at the start of the year. So
really?
Yeah. Especially with the sort of hard run that we had, with the finalists and stuff in the first 6 rounds. 10-2 is an absolute dream. And just need to put away Melbourne. And then we can, look forward to a couple of games to just bank the wins and bank the top 4 spot, and we'll go from there. But yeah, sitting pretty on top of the ladder. That's not much else to say. Just it's looking good. It's absolutely looking good.
Fair. Jake, how'd the Saints go on the weekend, mate? It's a good weekend.
Yeah, it was a pleasant surprise, but also not really a surprise at the same time, It's kind of like the flip of the West Coast game where we're all like, I wouldn't be surprised if we lost. This was, I wouldn't be hugely surprised if we won, to be honest. And we played really well. We came out of the blocks. We were 6 of the first 7 goals, I think, of the game, led by Isaac Keeler, who's really just had his best game so far, which is awesome. Yep. 1 week down back. Excellent. And then we play him forward and he kicks 3 and I think he had 7 disposals and 4 marks and 2 goals or something in the first quarter alone, which was insane for him to do. And Max Hall, everyone, it was just a complete team performance, which is too, inconsistent across the year. We don't do that very often, but when we put it together, we look really good. And our rebound game was strong. Naz was incredible. Sinks was great. Steele led from the front in the midfield. And we negated Cozzy, which was what Melbourne fans were telling me all week. Who's going to do that? Who's going to do that? And Windy was phenomenal. No disrespect. Cozzy's been in amazing form, but Windy was just on another level on the weekend. He stopped him, but he also got his own ball, which I've always critiqued, is don't be too defensive. Do the basics and then get off your man and hurt them. And that's what we did. We ran off them, we hurt them, and they had chances. They had a lot of shots. That's well documented. 6 of them were rushed, which no one talks about, and then a lot of them were under pressure or inferred pressure that we put on them. And 28 points, I'll take that. Absolutely. That's just a really good win. There's no major science behind it. Sometimes you just got to knuckle down, focus for 4 quarters, and that's it. And we didn't deviate, which is exciting. So good way to go into the bye off a win.
What's the record now? 5 and 6?
5 and 7.
5 and 7.
I would have taken 6 and 6 with West Coast. That's the one that hurts. I would have absolutely before the season taken 6 and 6. So 5 and 7. I think we are 1 win better off than this time last year, and we know how we ended last year. So given we've not fielded our best 23 really at any point, not even close to it, to be honest. I think that's not a bad result, to be honest.
Yeah, love it. Pommy, how'd the Blues go against the bye, mate?
Yeah, really good. I'm just sat here, just taken aback by this new humble swoop. What a knobhead! We thought we might be 6
Oh my
and 6.
god! I cannot fucking win with you guys. I cannot
Just
fucking
enjoy
win with
it.
you guys. Are you serious? Well, what do you mean? I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm telling you, at the start of the season, we were after what happened last year. Just because your team's a fucking shithouse and you guys are gonna have.
Hey, don't bring us in. Hey, I didn't say anything.
There's nothing more I want to do than when we play you in 4 weeks to absolutely put the nail in your fucking coffin, put that lid back on, and then non-humble swoop will come out. I can't do anything. I cannot do anything right. Fuck
I do love that. He said after the bye we'll bank some easy wins, and we play them the first week they're back after the bye. Asshole.
You just know.
Yeah, you know what? We might be winning. We might be losing off the field, but I can still rattle Swoop and Jake when I need to, which is good.
You know that Carlton are struggling.
I rattle you too, mate. I've seen the videos. I've gotten you too. Don't you worry. 2-way street there, baby.
Anyway, the Carlton's bye. Yeah, it was nice, man. It was nice to have the week off, wasn't it? To be honest, it was good to have the week off. Did I need it? Not really, to be honest. Got better things to do in my life than have a break from Carlton, but it was good. It was nice to just sit back and enjoy the other teams. That was nice. Just a nice cruisy week of spreading my love to other AFL teams before
So you're going to say spreading something else, but
no, my time's done for that. I've already ceased more offspring, but no, it was good fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I went to Carlton had an open training session on Saturday. I'd usually gobble up the opportunity to go to such an opportunity. I could not have thought of anything worse. So I skipped it on Saturday morning. I had a 3rd birthday at 10 a.m. on Saturday. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Yeah, 3rd birthday. Good friend of mine, a little boy. I bought him a Carlton hoodie, and I'm not going to lie, I felt a little guilty doing it. I'm like,
yeah.
What are we doing to the kid? So, it's grim. I've not been this disenchanted with the Carlton Football Club since I started doing this. No doubt about it.
Wow.
I'm so off them. They're just full of shit, the whole thing. So I really enjoyed having a break. I mean, it would have been nice to have a game to cover if they won, but having a game to cover if they lost and played like they played last time out against the Giants. Yeah. So yeah, we are 4-7 going into the bye, which I actually think's a good thing, because I think 5 and 6 would have maybe given some false hope as to how bad it has been. It's been poor. I mean, you hear the messaging from the club in press conferences. I guess they have to keep a positive attitude, but I hope they're not telling each other on the inside, yeah, we're doing a lot right. So we'll see. We will see. But yeah, why don't we get cracking into some topics and questions, lads?
Good idea.
Pommy, you want to start?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's have a bit of fun. We'll start with fun and end with seriousness.
And then end.
Then end with seriousness. So we always like to do a little bit of fun on this show. And today, because I like me draft, got a lot of weird draft content coming up that's a little bit different than you normally see. So I thought I'd prepare the lovely audience and you guys with going with, if the AFL was run by someone competent, we wouldn't have... Well, we wouldn't have, a long first round. We'd only have a proper first round. So what you're going to see on your screen is the first round as if it was run by someone with a brain, which is only 18 picks in the real draft. First rounders now are like 30, 40, 50. But these are the 18 picks. And we've got the record holders who are currently playing at the minute that you've got to guess. You'll see the date they were drafted, their current amount of games as of now, and which club they currently play for. So 1 to 18, the traditional first round. And you will see that a team that has monopolised the first round in the last 2 decades only has one player. And I'll give you a clue. They didn't draft him.
Okay. How are we going to do this? Like just one at a time? Or
we'll just throw names out. So chat, throw names out. I'll start with whoever wants to start.
Can I try?
Yeah, go for
it. For us, pick 6. Is that Jack McRae?
It is indeed the main man here, Mr. Jackson McRae. That is Mr. Jack McRae. Well done. Good call.
I'll go next. Is pick 11 Steel Sidebottom?
Pick 11 is Mr. Steel Sidebottom, one of the need drug testing Sidebottom and Pendlebury, because they're better careers now than they were 5 years ago. Crazy.
Is pick 5 Pendlebury?
Pick 5 is indeed the iconic Scott Pendlebury.
Is pick 1 David Swallow?
Brilliant, Luke. Great. Pick 1 David Swallow.
I'm trying to think.
Crazy that, isn't it, as well? Because you forget he is a pick 1. He's one of them ones. Some great pick 1s, though, currently in the AFL. Not far behind him is players like Jacob Wheatering, Andrew McGrath, Cam Rayner, Sam Walsh.
Oh, jeez. I forgot McGrath was number 1. Bloody hell.
He's 10. 10? That's not Danger, is it?
10 is Patrick Dangerfield, drafted by Adelaide.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't really know the players too well. 2016 Brisbane, pick 17. I don't know why this is really stupid. I'll probably get called out. Is it McCluggage? Yeah, Hugh McCluggage. Or was he drafted later than that?
So you're looking at number 16?
17.
Oh, 17, sorry. Number 17. You are not far off. You are right area, but it would surprise you who pick 17 is, but he's right similar position. It's not a bad call.
He was drafted in 2017, I think, McGuggage. I just checked. All right.
We'll give you some clues. The number 3, Jake, will kick himself.
Is it Billings?
It is indeed Jack Billings.
Yeah.
Pick 3, one of the more obscure draft picks, one of the more difficult ones to knock down. But yes, Billings is there.
And the one below him is Bont, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Bont, Marcus Bontempelli. Yep,
has he played 246?
Yeah.
he has.
Is pick 2 Josh Kelly?
It is quite a few players here at pick 2. GWS have monopolised this pick. Cornelio, Jonathan O'Rourke, Josh Kelly.
Can I just take a moment to say hello to the producers from Fox Footy, 7 Sport, SEN, who are watching this and are going to use this for one of their posts. Great to have you joining us. Please let yourselves be known in the chat. We'd love to say hello and thanks for using Pommy's ideas for your content. Thank you.
So number 7 is an interesting one because there's some big names here. This has had some quite successful ones. Daniel Rich, obviously being one of the more famous ones. Joe Selwood, one of them. But current players, he's just beating a Carlton legend, Nick Haynes, here. But a Port Adelaide player who his name's come up in chat. He's just gone for surgery recently.
I'm gonna guess.
Laughing Magpie just said Ollie Wines.
Oh,
it is indeed Ollie Wines.
He's 264. Holy crap!
Wow.
Played a lot of games, surprising amount of games as well. I think.
Is pick 13? Is that Ollie Florent?
Pick 13. It's not.
He wouldn't have played 227.
He is a legend in Swoop's eyes, probably until he left.
Brody Grundy.
No.
Taylor
Brody
Adams.
Grundy is featured in this list, though, but not
Taylor Adams. Good call.
Mr. Adams, yes. Surprising amount of games.
Yeah.
So Grundy should be pick 18 then.
He is indeed.
Yep.
You're doing well at this. Hey, chat and Horse, they're doing very well. So we'll give you some clues on pick 8. Pick 8, a real fascinating one. Obviously, you'll know Lockie Henderson has played a lot of games here. Dyson Heppel has played a lot of games here, but they have since retired. The record holder here is a legend in Jude Bolton, but this guy here, father-son pick, the only father-son pick to ever come from this as well, and a North Melbourne stalwart.
Is he Luke McDonald?
It is indeed Mr. Lucas McDonald.
I didn't even know it was a father-son pick. There you go.
9. Is 9 Vlosten?
That is a great call by you. Well done, Nick Vlosten. That's number 9. Come on, Terry. You know the Carlton one. Drafted by Brisbane.
Oh,
Doherty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He went Kerno. He rocked the Kerno.
I thought it was. I forgot about Doc. Disgrace. Disgrace.
This is an interesting one, you know, Sam Doherty's pick, because there is so many within like a flea's dick of him. Jai Simpkins not far off him. Charlie Kerno is 30 games behind him, but in the purview. The guy who looks like the runaway winner from that, though, is Zachary Butters on 114 games.
Ooh.
It looks like he'll take that out in the years gone by. Where are we? Number 14. Let's give you some clues for 14. 14. So this guy here is probably the most underrated player having a whole week together for Brisbane's forward line.
Archie?
Hipwood.
What's Hipwood? Damn it. That was my first. I thought it was more obscure. I thought it was Archie.
Eric Hipwood. Great call. And then 15, originally drafted by Richmond Football Club.
Oh, that's easy.
Oh,
Probably
Rioli,
the
isn't it?
reason Richmond are Gold Coast are flying at the minute. Big key part of it.
Rioli.
Danny Rioli at 15. You see GWS featuring this an awful lot as well, just got to say.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Sydney GWS
To be fair,
and
they've
Gold
had,
Coast seem to have quite a few there.
To be fair, they've had like 555 picks, so it's not that hard
Yeah.
to do that. Pick 16. This one will surprise people. Has a famous brother who plays for Adelaide and Gold Coast.
Harry Himmelberg.
Indeed, yeah. Harry Himmelberg, pick 16. And this
Great
last one, the one you struggled with, has a brother that has played for Brisbane and Gold Coast.
Berry?
Yes.
Berry?
The forgotten man. Well done.
Good job.
Well done. Well done, Laughing
Good
Magpie as well.
Laughing Magpie was killing it.
And Damien as well. Damien, I've got to get him on my show because Damien's always on the wavelength as well. But they are your current leaders of this. Interesting. Some little pick facts. The most cursed pick in the AFL in the first round. Which do you think it is? There is a cursed pick that is the only pick that averages under 90 games in the first top 10. It's a cursed pick.
It's like 7 or 8, isn't it?
You're so close with that guess.
9. I said 9 before, but
6.
9? Oh, it's 6.
6.
Pick 6. Pick 6 is the cursed pick. Some failed pick 6s in the last 20 years that haven't played 100 games. Scharenberg, Caleb Marchbank, Aaron Francis, Fishka McCasey, Denver Granger Barras, and then some guys hoping to make it good. Josh Rochelle, Bailey Humphrey, Riley Sanders, Harvey Langford, hoping to buck that trend. But Carlton will remember pick 6 famously. Mr. Sam Petrescu-Seton, pick 6.
Petrescu-Seton.
I forgot about him, actually.
And Laughing Magpie makes a good point. Makes a good guess player as well. Jaden Stevenson was pick 6.
Hey. I don't think we've had
Ferntree Gully legend and master of the sports bet spreadsheet, Jaden Stevenson. Shout out to him.
Far out.
That was all. I like that one.
It's good, yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
To be fair, I had to have cheated. I've been planning a video for 2 weeks on a theory that my pop taught me about squad lists in the UK, and I went through the draft as part of that, and just seeing Carlton's top 10 picks, I was like, someone else must have fucked this up as much as us. And found that. But yeah, pick 6, the cursed pick. But you look at the last 5, well, the last 4, Riley Sanders, Bailey Humphrey, Josh Rochelle, and Harvey Langford. I think they might fix it, but seems to be a curse that you play 105 games and then never play again.
I wonder what the cursed number is, like Guernsey number. That'd be
an interesting. Hey, maybe that can be next week. We can see which is the worst, worst number to wear.
Mate, that was brilliant. I look forward to seeing it.
That was good fun.
Who's the favourite for which mainstream media channel to use it?
Oh, you know that's got a SEN.
I've got to say, SEN have taken the last 3 of these joke things.
Footy on 9. Footy on 9's going to rock it.
Footy on 9.
Footy on 9 in SEN. They are enjoying it.
Yeah.
They are really doing it.
And I just want to answer Matt Lang, his question here. Says, what pick 69 has played the most games? I just checked it out. And actually, does anyone have any guesses? I know it's very random, but
pick 69.
Yeah, I can give you the year. He was drafted in 2009. And he's played the most games.
I thought someone who's playing now. I was going to say.
No. He's not playing now.
Jake King?
No. Any other quick guesses? I can give you a club. Hawthorn.
I was going to say, is it Sam? It's not
very random player.
Puopolo?
Random.
No.
Nah, close.
Gunston?
Taylor Duray. Taylor
Oh,
Duray.
Really?
218 games, 2
Shit.
premierships. Pick 69, 218 games.
And
Love that.
we could do
There you
this
go.
on a like rookie with the most games.
Yeah, it's
What would it be?
lots of
Because I'm
spin-offs.
pretty
Yeah.
sure now it's my favourite player. So Matt Lang knows me too well, but it's Meeky. I'm pretty sure.
Lloyd Meek.
Is a previous.
Yeah, he's pick 69. Yeah.
Pick.
Oh,
Dinner for two.
Dinner for 2 pick. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Amazing. Jake, what have you got,
Hmm.
mate? You want to go next?
I've got I've written a few down, but let's actually we'll go with this one. We'll go with this one because this
Jake's so
relates
good
to-
at this. He's done extra homework. Don't have to rub it in, mate.
No, I'm just. We'll see how it goes. So, the moment that caught my eye was the pre-game huddle that Seven recorded with Darcy Moore, right? And it's great access. And then the next day there were articles about it because Darcy Moore dropped a few F-bombs, as if that was wrong, as if just him being in the moment, pre-game, in the zone, pumping up his teammates was a bad thing, right? So they got their cake and they're eating it too. They got the access, but then they got the access to criticize the player that they want that access from. So my question that I've kind of drafted here was like moments like game day huddles and sort of post-game scenes, even Sicily in the rooms after the game looking very dejected, having the footage from the rooms. Do you think that, I don't know, maybe that sort of stuff needs to be considered more private, or maybe even clubs need to consent for that to go to air or something like that? I just wonder if the media is just getting a free reins to film everything and post everything, critique everything, and the clubs don't have much control on that.
I think
what
that
do
was
you
a part of
think
the
the
new
solution would
CBA,
be?
wasn't it?
Is it?
When they signed it, they could get more access to players, and I think it even was like, when they would do it and they do halftime interviews like on the ground as they're walking off with players.
That was
and coaches
my
and
next
stuff.
point.
That was all.
Okay,
Yeah,
well-
that was all part of it. I think as well. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, maybe that topic is mute. I've got another one though. I've written a few down, luckily. This one is in relation to what we talked about off air, the legal action against Kane Corns, Hodge,
Yeah.
and Dale Thomas in regards to the concussion debacle that we all know happened quite recently. I want to know, in terms of this situation, how this sort of case might dictate commentators in the future and sort of how they cover the game. Do you think they're going to hone it in and say less? Does it affect the transparency because there might be more lawsuits? Is this sort of setting a precedent for, commentators to not just say outlandish things at the risk of maybe going to court? What are your thoughts? I mean, you're a law. You worked in law, Terry. You probably have a better angle on this than all of us.
I mean, yeah, I think what we're living through right now is an adjustment because there's more shows in the mainstream media covering the footy than there ever has been. And so with more shows comes more opinions, and I just think there will be some sort of an adjustment with the way in which the game gets spoken about. I think attitudes will change. I think we're fast tracking the attitude adjustment by having more content in the mainstream media. I think there's more. I think there's more to the story, and it's just a tricky one to talk about. I mean, it's when you're accusing someone of lying, you want to make sure that you're telling the truth.
But even in like other situations where, like, hypothetically you're a player and maybe you think you can change clubs at some point, and Matthew Lloyd comes out on Footy Classified or some other commentator comes out and criticizes them and says, who would want that player? Like those sort of comments, like who would want that player? Is that something that can carry enough weight that a player and their agent can take action at some point because it's detrimental to their chances of moving on to another club? It's sort of defamation in a way. Like can it go to that level, do you think, in the future? Because that's sort of what I'm wondering. Is this like opening the door to players being like, hey, he said that thing about me, and
It's
just
tricky.
not ignoring it? Yeah.
It's tricky to draw the line between opinion and, defamation. Like
Yeah.
questioning someone's integrity as an umpire is. I mean, I don't even know if a lawsuit's going to happen. I think it's just a reporter that they've been considering it, and that could look like someone saying you should think about it, and the conversation goes nowhere else. But the media sort of, Tom Morris reports it as a fact, and again, it could be as simple as just a situation that gets brushed aside, or it could not. Maybe has some weight. So I don't know. I just find the media insufferable at times. I think they're hypocrites in nearly everything that they do, in the way they speak about the game. They'll tear down people, and then they'll tear down the people that they asked to tear them down. I just think they're just so wishy-washy with the way that they discuss the game, and I think they're all villainous snakes, to be quite honest.
Well, they're already switching the narrative. I mean, side topic, but switching the narrative of Josh Battle and Barras going to Hawthorn. 4 months ago, they were saying it was a genius ploy and everything, and now they're saying, they shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
So they just twist the words to whatever suits them at the time. What do you guys think?
I think with just like with anything, all it's going to take is one lawsuit for a domino to fall. But I don't even, like Terry said, I don't think these umpires are going to get to that sort of stage. Like, I know they're sort of saying that, and now you can kind of look into, has Kane, I think Pommy said it off air, has Kane Corns taken this week off because of this impending sort of thing that was coming out? Like, was he worded up, or is it actually, is he being hypocritical because he's questioned stuff like this in the past where players take weeks off and stuff like that? So it's a weird one, and it's a very, it's well over 4 weeks now or something, and it's still very murky, as in, like, I think Laura Kane retracted her comments to say that the umpires weren't lying, and it was just miscommunication. But the commentators were just going off what they knew from what Laura Kane and the AFL came out and said, which was that the umpires didn't see it. Then the audio came out. So it's just like, did they need to do due diligence? It's all about who can get the story out first, isn't it? And then figure out questions later.
Yeah, words carry weight, and like, my topic isn't necessarily specific to just this case, but also what this case means for the future, in terms of reporters just feeling like they can critique and say whatever they want, and there's no backlash, there's no please explain or this sort of thing. Obviously, we don't want the AFL world to become sensitive and say, well, we can't criticize players and clubs, but at some point, sometimes they can go over the edge a little bit without any consequences.
Yeah, it's a weird one, but I think as fans we keep, and I don't know if they listen to it much of what we say, but we keep commentators and Seven and Fox Footy accountable for a lot. Like, if you read some of the comments, and I put something up on Instagram about Bernie Vince and Lipinski's concussion, like what he said on the bounce, and people were stating their opinion, and they were tagging Fox Footy and stuff like that. So I think we do well to keep them accountable. And I think that's probably repercussion enough, because sometimes you do see them changing their ways in subtle ways. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be, I don't think lawyers ever will get involved. I think it'll just be really wild.
Yep. Pom?
Maybe I'm getting old. I'm 40 years old, but words have hurt my feelings. What planet am I living on? When I grew up, you used to worry about a right hook from someone bigger than you, or a knife or something like that. I mean, words written on paper affecting people's feelings. Maybe I'm getting old. People just maybe need to toughen up a little bit. But I think we put way too much credence into it. We live in a world where, at 40 years old, I remember I come from a generation where I was probably the last generation that was told to be seen and not heard. Sit down, shut up. Right? And then I saw, as I left school, people were encouraged to have opinions regardless of your intelligence levels. And now we're at a stage where literally, as long as you can read, type, or speak, you're encouraged to have an opinion. And now we're getting into this horrible world where if you've got an opinion that's against the norm, that's instantly bad, flatlined, it's offensive. And I think we've over-adjusted. Like, honestly, the umpires, they've been called a liar and they're thinking about suing. Grow up. Do you know what I mean? Just don't fuck up. It would be nice to see if people were a little bit more accountable when they say things that were wrong. Would it be nice if Kane Cornes, Luke Hodge says, look, liar's a strong word. Maybe they, do you know what I mean, and owned what they said. But wouldn't it be great if the umpires owned why they completely ballsed up that Lockie Schultz thing instead of handballing it on? I feel like the world misses accountability. Like, you know when people say, oh, but suing and damages, money doesn't fix. Like, you've been called a liar. No one likes umpires. It's like, you know, a traffic warden saying my public opinion's bad. Don't be a traffic warden. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Do you know what I mean? If you don't want to be called a twat, don't be a traffic warden. Do a real job. That's nice. Same with an umpire. So, like, for me, like, yeah, I feel like we need to, this is getting off topic, but I feel like the world needs to, like, snap back a little bit and go, okay, we've got all this freedom and equality, but you know what? Freedom of speech, which doesn't actually exist in Australia, but freedom of speech also comes with freedom of consequence. You make a mistake, shit always happens as well. Do you know what I mean? So if you say COVID's not real, right? You know when that happened? There is a consequence that some people will come at you, but there's also a consequence that some people will support you. But we can't live in utopia. And I feel like that's what people want nowadays. People want utopia. People want to be able to, if I stick my finger up at an Eagles game, I want to be the victim. It's, oh, poor me. But no one talks about the people who were saying horrible things about Harley Reid. He's allowed to react. That's cause and effect. So, yeah, I feel like we need to recess a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, people can say what they want. It's your job to react to it. But at the end of the day, you've got a very low mental strength if words are starting to affect you. Like, honestly, like, you've got a lot of problems if words are the biggest thing that are happening in your life.
Should umpires, be open to press conferences and whatnot after a game if they stuff up or have a decision? Should they get in front of the bloody camera like coaches and players? Should they?
Okay, I'll word it like this:
point?
if you and me say something deeply offensive or deeply political and our views, we're accountable, are we not? Because technically we're in the public eye, even though we've got small followings in the grand scheme of things. People would want answers. So if Harley Reid is allowed to be judged as a 19-year-old child for what he is, and he's getting paid handsomely for it, why aren't the umpires? Who are the umpires? Like, the umpires aren't anyone special. If they make a mistake, it shouldn't be Laura Kane defending them. It shouldn't be Dylan defending them. Why can't they face the camera and say, excuse me, I made a mistake? Like, how hard is that? Why do we always have to hide things? Like honestly, I just feel like that's the society we live on. Everyone wants to be able to say what they want and do what they want. But the minute someone's got to put their hand up and go, you know what, I fucked up, that's
accountability.
Impossible. Because as soon as they do, we do the mental health card. As soon as we do, oh, but my cat died in the morning, and then I went and refereed this game and I made some mistakes, but, you know, I had to bury my cat. No one can just say, you know what, I chose to do this, I fucked up, I'm really sorry. And that's human nature, isn't it? Redemption is a human trait, but we've got to own it. I don't understand why nowadays, like, if you're an umpire and you're suing Luke Hodge because they called you a liar, just don't fuck up at your job, and then people won't call you a liar. It's not that hard. Bloke's unconscious, stop the fucking game. Like, what world am I living in that there's got to be someone to blame? How hard is it that sometimes 5 people are responsible for a fuck up? You can all put your hand up. Like, honestly, if I'm glad I'm not Andrew Dillon, because I'd sack every one of them umpires for suing him, and I'd tell Luke Hodge to think about what he says before he says it. Can't be that hard.
Yeah. On a side note, how cooked has that situation become now that any injury that a player has resulted in a stop of a game? I mean, we saw it. I mean, there's been heaps, but Bedford had a stinger on his shoulder. Game stopped. Like, Didn't take him off.
I don't think they stopped the game when Naz got hit mid-air.
No? Oh, right.
No, the ball kept playing and then Melbourne got a free kick. We didn't even get a free kick at that point, but he gets 2 weeks, the Melbourne bloke. I hope they're not challenging it. I haven't heard. But...
Well, again, on a side note, I like what happened there. They punished the action. I'm glad they did it.
Yeah, I was worried that because he came back on, he would get off, but...
Yeah.
It's part of that argument me and Terry had like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Everything now is waiting for the consequence, but the real story here is in another world, Lockie Schultz could have been seriously injured. Lockie Schultz could have serious long-term ramifications from umpires' negligence, AFL's incompetence to be able to actually ascertain a proper press release. And suddenly, because Lockie Schultz is fine and he's playing football again, everyone forgets about that because the consequence now is a little private school umpire who's not talented enough to play football, who now just blows a whistle, is a little bit offended by words that Luke Hodge said. Yeah. But in another narrative, if Lockie Schultz, thank whatever is above there that controls outcome, he is totally fine. If he wasn't, we wouldn't be... If let's just say Lockie Schultz had to retire because of what had happened, do you think if the umpire came out now and said, "Oh, but Luke Hodge hurt my feelings," everyone would be like, "Well, you've just ruined a guy's career because you didn't do your job properly." So there wouldn't be the sympathy. So, like, in my honest opinion, why do we always have to negate the consequence because the consequence didn't happen? The real story is Lockie Schultz could have been seriously hurt and could have been delayed to have the medical attention he needed because the umpires fucked up. So all it needs really is the umpires to come out and say, "We fucked up. We're really sorry. We won't do it again. We'll be more diligent." And this goes away. Instead, the umpires want to somehow... Why do we always have to validate the victim? Like, why does there always have to be a victim that's appeased? Why can't everyone just be wrong and we all learn from it?
Yeah,
it's
not be better for it.
I'm sure they'll just get the umps and put them on the agenda setters for an exclusive 9 p.m. show in a couple of weeks' time.
Well, I think that's part of the solution.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the solution. I think what Razor Ray does, where he talks about,
I was just about to say
anymore. Like, I think that is part of the solution. Get the head of umpiring. Okay, maybe not every week, but maybe once a month. Like, bring the fan into the experience of how they critique the decisions. And I truly feel better about umpiring when I hear Razor Ray talking with Jared Waitley, because I might not agree with how he gets to a decision, but the way he explains it just gives me an idea of, oh, okay, this is how it happens. And I just think that's part of the solution moving forward for the current umpires and who is the head of umpiring?
I think
is it McBurney?
Yeah, I think it is.
Where the fuck's he at?
Yeah, Steve McBurney. The only time I've seen McBurney was last year when Lockie Sullivan handed the ball to Nick Dacos and there was a free kick given to Fremantle. That was the only time McBurney has come out from memory and said something, and appeared on camera and said something. That was the only time.
So we've had a lot of umpiring on the agenda this year as an industry. Has he spoken at all this year, or am I missing
I honestly don't think he. No, I honestly don't think he has.
Like one time, and like, please correct me if I'm wrong. Where the fuck is he?
Rob Kerr is the Umpires Association boss. It's probably
him
as the front of it. He's the one who spoke up about the umpires with Tom Morris before. So I'd imagine he's probably the front man at the moment.
Yeah, I can't
Again, no accountability, but yeah.
It's always, Anyway, great topic that had a few branches to it. It was good.
Yes, love branches.
Luke, you can go last. I've got one. I've got a deep one tonight.
Beautiful.
So, have you guys watched the movie Soul?
Oh yeah,
is that
with
the Disney?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. I think I've watched
Jamie Foxx.
So this movie moved me years ago when I watched it. I watched it again today for the second time, and it kind of rocked me the other way. So, okay, the premise of the movie, without spoiling it, is around what's your spark in life and what's your purpose in life, and finding the two and living a life that is fulfilling for you, whatever. So when I first watched it, it was 2021, I think it was, and it really just sort of reinforced, like, yep, I love what I do, you know, the Blues, the fan channel, yada, 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 like, yep, I'm dialing in, love it. And then I watched it today, and there was another quote in it, and there's a scene where they're in this place where lost souls are, and the description was given around, you know, when you're in the zone, you're in a flow of something, like whether you're playing an instrument or whatever it is, you sort of go into a zone. And the quote in the movie that from when I watched it for the second time today read, and it said, you know, lost souls are not that different from those that are in the zone when you're in that flow. The zone is enjoyable, but when that joy becomes an obsession, it becomes disconnected from life. So thinking about how people can become lost, even in things they're passionate about, got me thinking, can we, as content creators and diehard fans, become too obsessed with our clubs? At what point does the passion turn into something that drains you or defines you too much? Like, is there such thing as being too passionate about our clubs as creators and as diehard fans?
I think, I mean, the first thing that pops into my head is at the point where you can't see yourself doing anything else, and you don't think you could ever step away from it, you know? And I could happily put everything down and go, yeah, I've done the best I can. I'm pretty happy with what I've done, what I've achieved. I think that means that it's in control still. But if it's an obsession, it's something that never goes away. It's always there. And that's all you think about, to the point where it's detrimental to every other part of your life and you can't break it up.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that pops into my head. If you can't step away from it, it's almost like then it's a problem. At least for me, but
yeah.
I won't be retiring for the next 20 years until we win a flag anyway. But anyway.
I kind of experienced this last year, and I think I talked about it. I can't remember when I talked about it, maybe at the start of the year, where, you know, there was a lot of things going on last year, personally. And over those last couple of years, I kind of lost the who Swoop Luke was and who Luke was. Like Gavin just said, I didn't have that balance. And it took me going to, so when I went to Europe for 6 weeks, even though I was still doing content and stuff like that, it took me meeting people that didn't know anything about football, didn't know anything about Swoop and sort of what I did, and kind of just saw me for Luke and what I brought to the table without all of my content and stuff, to kind of be able to differentiate those two, I guess those two souls, one soul being Swoop Luke and one soul being Luke. And for a long time, I was lost in between both of them. I couldn't just differentiate it. And I think I've done a lot better this year to, even though I'm doing this full time, but I've done this a lot better to be able to split those up and have time for myself and what I like to do, and have time for Swoop Luke and you know, all the content and stuff like that. It's it's again like Gavin said, it's all about that balance. And, you know, but that's not to say that, you know, sometimes this year, and I came on here today and just said that I was feeling very low energy going into this stream, because it was, all the content and stuff was weighing on me just today, and lots of thinking and all that sort of stuff as well. And I did get, I was lost in it. So that question came at a really good time. And once I get off here, I'm going to do a little bit more self-reflection as well. It's all about that striking that balance, I think.
Yeah. Pommy, you've got a family, so you have, you know, fulfilled a lot of what the essence of life is all about. So how do you do, like, what are your learnings in this space?
What, just YouTube?
Purpose, spark in general, like being too obsessed with something?
When I was younger,
Mm.
like in my early teens or in my late teens, early 20s, I was obsessed with work, like incredibly obsessed, like to the point that no one else mattered. I didn't have time for relationships, friends, things like that. Like I was just solely focused on that. And like, it's easy saying it when you're 40 years old and you've got a beautiful wife and some wonderful kids, and like you can literally get hit by a bus tomorrow and you don't care. Like genuinely, that's where I am at my point in life. Like I know that they're okay, they're fine, and life will go on without me, but I've done all I can and will continue to. But I think true happiness comes when you look after yourself, when you love yourself. So when Zoe got really ill when our kids were really little, I think that's something that life taught me, that work is irrelevant. Money is irrelevant. It's the connections you make and the people that you're around. So like my priorities changed. You know what I mean? When you lose someone, you potentially lose someone that you care about. That I was looking for validation in all the stupid ways, like comment sections on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, do people like my content? Do people like me? Things like that. And eventually, like, I just came to a realization that genuinely something happened when Zoe was in hospital and stuff. Something happened to me psychologically that I genuinely couldn't give less of a shit about anyone on this planet, whether they liked me, whether they cared for me, apart from myself, because I realized that without me, I can't face bringing the kids up on my own. I can't face helping Zoe get better. I can't face anything. So once my goals in life changed to love myself first, and if I can do that well, the people that really do need me will get the best version of me. That's when if you're like, I see like some of the trolls you get on Facebook, and in the comment section, I genuinely feel bad for them, because obviously that's all they've got in life. And I used to be that person, wanted to upset someone or get a reaction because it made me feel important. But once you realize that the most important person in your life is you, he's there when you're depressed, he's there when you're high, he's there when you're suicidal, he's there when you win. That is the most important thing in the life. Once you find that, you realize that everyone else in life is irrelevant to you. You control you. And everyone can die tomorrow or live forever. I don't give a shit which. I will wake up tomorrow and I will focus on me. And luckily, I know that the people that genuinely are worth something in life get to live with me. And that's fantastic. So, like, honestly, YouTube likes, how many people laugh at your jokes? Totally irrelevant, because 99.9% of people are complete stains, honestly. You know what I mean? Genuinely. And as I get older, I realize people who talk about how many houses they own, how much money they earn, the new car, most of them are just absolute shells of human beings that, honestly, do you know what I mean? If there is a God, they shouldn't exist. When you realize you are your own God and you are the person that looks after you and you love yourself more than anyone else, that's when life is brilliant, man. Life is so good there.
I like it.
Perfect.
Very good. Luke.
God, that was deep. I was just going to ask what everyone's go-to Subway order was, but let me think of something really quick.
Were you really?
No. But you can answer that if you want to.
Just the cookies. That's all I get.
No, so with it being mid-season, we just had the mid-season draft. Let's just say we're not going to go into how it would work, but let's just say the mid-season trade period is here. Who is one player that you would want from another team to help you for the second half of your season? Not get rid of, just bring in one player.
Currently playing?
Currently playing, yep. Yeah, you can't bring back Kuda. Like, who's going to improve your team to get you those extra 2 to 3 wins?
I'll take Jesse
Masaka.
Hogan.
Oh, Jesse Hogan. True.
I'll take Hogan with an
one.
injured King. Obviously, I'll take Hogan.
Yeah. So you think your deficiency is just a big key forward?
100%. Yeah, right now, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so
And
many.
midfield, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say Nick Dacos, but I didn't want to pump you up too much.
Pommy, you can either do this for Carlton or for Adelaide. Whoever you.
Mate,
Every
mate,
week,
rather.
Mate, there's only one for Carlton. There's only one. And I just want to, look, I don't like to call out other content creators, so I'll leave him anonymous. But there was a very famous Instagram influencer the other day who did probably one of the greatest things ever. He did the top 10 Indigenous players in the competition at the minute. And he left this guy out of his top 10, which I actually think is criminal. Because there's one man for Carlton, Bobby Hill, a proper fucking footballer. And this guy wasn't in the top 10. So that Instagram post, he had Keziah Pickett number 1. Don't know if the bloke's related to Pickett, but Wanganeen Mawera was second. Bobby Hill was nowhere on this list. And Bobby Hill,
This list.
I'll read you the top.
Horn Francis was 1, wasn't he? 1 or 2?
No, it was Pickett. It was Pickett. And honestly, I haven't slept properly since. You asked what things. The list was Pickett, Nasir Wanganeen, Isaac Rankin, Jason Horn-Francis, Stephen May, Callum Archie, Tyson Stengel, Shai Bolton, Ben Long, and Charlie Cameron. No Bobby Hill.
Wow.
I think recency bias with Ben Long.
Have we just given up?
Has been
Just
good.
given up doing top 10s now.
I want to know who it was.
Yeah.
I
don't know who this was too.
I think I know who you're talking about, but yeah. What would
I've
you
seen
change
some
in that?
lists in my time, but
Would you
that's
just
okay.
bring in Bobby Hill and take out who in that top 10?
I'll take out Horn Francis.
Out of the top 10?
Yeah. At a current.
Well,
currently?
number one's not Keziah Pickett. Let's be honest.
Who is it?
Number 1 Indigenous player currently playing as of now
Yes.
on form.
Yes.
Isaac Rankin by Flemington Strait.
Mm.
Rankin, number 1. Yeah.
I reckon Nass is 2 or
Yep.
3. Bobby Hill would definitely be in that. Jason Horn-Francis would definitely be in that. Pickett, I find, goes hot and cold. When he's brilliant. But I think Bobby Hill, I think, is the ultimate because he bucks the trend. You watch Bobby Hill play, he brings players in as well. Like he doesn't
have to
selfless.
kick goals. Yeah.
So
That's
who would you
why I
take out
have
of the top
ranking
10?
Bobby higher than Nass because they
Yeah.
finish their work, but they also like you watch Isaac Rankin. Rochelle's all of his goals this year have been Rankin just not being asked to kick 10, and him going, "Tell you what, I'll share 4 with you, mate, because I'm a mate." Bobby Hill, Jamie Elliott, half of his goals are Bobby Hill going, "Go on, Jamie, mate,
Have one, yeah.
I love you, mate."
I am a massive Brent Daniels fan.
Well, yeah.
Big Brent Daniels. Yeah, Brent Daniels, speedy half forward who can play small forward, link between mid and forward. Carlton have a lot of problems. That's one of the top 5. Yeah, don't know why.
Brent Daniels and Bobby at Carlton. Say you.
Hey, I've got a realistic one. I think we should go after Jake Rogers from Gold Coast because I don't think we can get Flanders.
Oh no!
Can we bookmark that for trade for draft time for trade time?
Jake Rogers, what a man!
Anyway, Luke, who's yours? What the hell do you need?
I was just about to say we don't need fucking anyone because we're winning the flag with our current team, baby.
Say this every
this
week.
year
but
is
I
a lot
would-
better for your mental health.
No.
This year,
No, I would have said if anyone, I'd probably take Sam Taylor. Just given Jeremy Howe is 32 and he's still playing good, but can you trust Billy Frampton to be more agile in finals? I'd love to have Sam Taylor, just another intercept marking defender to go one-on-one next to Darcy Moore would be my get. Would be my get.
I like that.
Sam Taylor. What about Big Bad Billy, bro? Big Bad Billy's making
been good.
Sam Taylor
Yeah.
look Mickey
He
Mouse,
has.
bro.
He's been absolutely phenomenal. When he sees ball, punch ball, that's when you know Billy is doing his work.
Yeah. Actually, Jake, I have not a bone to pick, but I would like to explore a conversation with you if you would, if you don't mind. I saw you were on the Doss and Toss podcast, and
yes.
talking about deconing, and he was sort of asking a question around, is he worth it? And I mean, you and I have had this chat as well, and you've said it's not just deconing 1.7; it's the bargaining power that brings, and you get deconing, and then all of a sudden others will come. And so I guess what I'm really asking is, like, is that are you sure of that? Will that for sure, like, say deconing goes, you do the 1.7, like, how can you be so sure that the other A graders will want to come, because of that? Like, I'm trying to figure out where you get that thought of deconing equals destination club.
I think there's no guarantee in any of it. There's no guarantee that we'll even get him, to be honest. So let's just put that out there. There's still nothing put down as much as people think it's done. We're still got to win games in the back half of the season. That might change things if we just bottom out after the bye and don't win a single game. That might change things drastically. You still need to be a destination club with what you've got now, not just what you're going to get or what you hope you're going to get, which has been our problem for a long time, is it's always grass is greener on the other side, and not really sorting yourself out here. So we got to get that right first. But I think, well, from my end, I think a lot of people have a problem, mainly only, and I think this is wrong, they see TDK and Naz's salary being linked on some level, like we're taking some money from Naz to give it to someone else. That's where most of the issue comes from with a lot of people. Whereas the club has explicitly said we have the salary cap space to explore all of that. We can pay Naz whatever he wants, and we can pay TDK, Bergman, and all these guys, Elia, whatever they want. So, like, is it going to guarantee anything? No. Is it going to give us a chance? Yes, I think so. I think it makes us a better team in general, even if we did get him. I think for sure. If we can keep Marshall with him and maybe put Marshall forward and have TDK, and like we're winning clearances off the opposition ruckman's taps. That's like people that watch the Saints, they watch Rowe, they know his tap work's not his strength. It's around the ground. It's his competitiveness around the ball and around the ground. TDK is a better tap ruckman. Does that give us... I can't remember a time where we've had a tap ruckman where our mids have had first use, and we've been able to burst out of the contest. We might be able to get that with a TDK and then have Marshall somewhere else. Or, like they've flagged, and I spoke about on that podcast, that gives us a bit of bargaining power elsewhere. If Rowe wants to seek a, different pastures, go somewhere else and see what we can get for him in return, because I think he's signed on for another couple of years. So I think there's flexibility. I don't think we're cornering ourselves or doing a typical St Kilda thing like people think from the surface.
I don't think you guys never done something like this before, where you've gone and not to this with this gravity, right? No,
not with this gravity. And it's always, and even if it's been tossed up, it's always a player that's clearly past their prime, and we're just getting them to look like a destination club, whereas he is in his prime. Like, there's no denying it. The next 3 or 4 years of TDK's footballing career are going to be pretty exciting if he can stay on the park. So, I mean, it's not done. If we get it done, am I going to be stoked? Absolutely, I'm going to be stoked, because we're getting a quality player, and I think he's a quality player. And I'm not just saying that because we're linked to him. I thought he was even before I knew that news, months ago. So,
Luke, you're the outside party here with no bias. What's your read on the situation? And you've also experienced losing big money players.
Yeah. My read is how can DeConing turn down 1.7 a season? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's a lot of money. But I didn't know St Kilda sort of had like I don't know, like a war chest to pay because on the flip side, I've seen what paying Ruckman over $1 million does to a team. You know what I mean? So I've seen, and I know that was when the CBA was a little bit tighter, and it wasn't, there wasn't as much money going in, but we were paying Brody Grundy a lot of money, and there wasn't enough money for other players, and then we have this squeeze, and he has to leave. So I don't know. As an outsider looking in, on one hand, how can you turn down 1.7 million? On the other hand, it's how can you pay 1.7 million for a ruckman? You could get two really good midfielders for that price. Because I think Marshall is still a good ruckman. Because then the flow-on effect is Marshall then probably leaves, and it's going to be a ruck. There's even talks that Essendon Draper's probably going to go to Adelaide as well. So there's going to be such a flow-on effect if these things happen. But as standing right now, I can't see De Koning turning down 1.7. That's just insane money in this day and age.
Fair.
I think you can pay up to 105% in the salary cap. Is that correct?
Pom, that's your
105%. That's the max, right?
I think the most stupid, and I hear a lot of stupid things. It's a big list, but the stupidest thing I hear is, if they get TDK, what happens to Nasir Wanganeen Milwara? Do you really think no one at Saints has gone, oh shit, if we offer this to TDK, we lose our best halfback? You look at Saints, 14th youngest list 14th oldest list in the comp, right? So a lot of them are going to be on low wages. The cap increases. It's probably to try and get someone in quickly and also hit some minimum salary caps, because the worst thing that happens, no one ever talks about this, Carlton, why their cap is so fucked at the minute, is because how we negated the minimum spend was we paid average players 150k a little bit more. Right? And it works out better from a statistical point of view to pay one guy a lot of money, because people, when they renegotiate, don't go, last 3 years ago, you offered me 350 and I was worth 300. You know what? Just give me 350 again. Everyone asks for a pay rise. So if you start high from a low base, so what St Kilda are doing, it looks stupid on paper, but they probably won't have an issue in 5 years' time because all their eggs are in a certain basket, as opposed to overpay. Like Carlton, when we did it, we're the case of where it goes wrong. Collingwood did the same thing as well, and that's why they had them high wages. But right now, they'd re-sign Boxall on 500k instead of 300k. They'd re-sign Wilson on 600. They'd pay a first-year player where he's going to be in 5 years. So when you do stuff like that, that's what kills you, where logically you're better off throwing the money at one player.
Yeah.
Because worst case, you sell him 3 years' time. You can't sell 8 players on 450k when they're worth 200.
Exactly. And this year we've only paid up to 95% of the cap. So we're going to sign players like the Windies, Nazes and that on that. And then we're going to go for the 105 next season and really max it out by getting those free agents. So the club have clearly done what maybe Collingwood didn't do all those years ago. So everyone's saying, Saints are just doing the Collingwood and they're going to be screwed in 5 years. That's not the case, because King's already signed, Naz will already be signed, Filippo is going to sign a 4-year deal in that limited cap space. So they're not doing exactly what Pom said. If they're worth 400, they're not getting 600. They're getting 400. They're getting paid what they're worth, not what they're going to be worth. Naz, I mean, what is he worth right now, Naz? Right now, to you guys. What's he worth?
To trade, he'll be in $1 million. I think if you were re-signing him, though, you'd want him around that 700-800 mark. But I think if a team came in on a restricted free agency like TDK, which inflates your salary to try and get them, I think he'd be in the millions easy. If he was in the TDK situation, I think people would be throwing big coin at him.
I think he'll sign My gut says he'll sign for 2 years, and then we'll have this conversation in 2 years' time to see where the club's at and if he wants to stay around and if it's going somewhere that he wants to sign that long-term deal. That's what I think. I don't think we're going to see him sign 10 years, you know?
The biggest mistake you can make is what Carlton have done. So, like Carlton, they rushed to sign Walsh, right? They rushed to sign Walsh. So he's on close to $1 million, right? Up until now. But we signed him very early. And then since he's had his back injuries and had them issues. Harry, Charlie, as soon as they wag their tail, here's the big boy money for 10 years, the big boy money for 10 years. When you start doing things like that, that reeks of two things, desperation and arrogance. Desperation that you don't want to lose a player, and then arrogance. TDK always worried me, and there's a video when we did the contract re-signing where I said it. It was a specific amount for a specific time. Screamed to me, his agent was like, this will take you through to restricted. These guys are paying you a little bit more than you're probably worth it. You show a little bit, your next contract's the big boy one, and you've got all the rights. You can choose your club. You will be able to choose
the leverage.
And that's where Carlton are now, because you look at it, people told your one's interest as well, because Brad Hill's on an awful lot of money, isn't he? He's out of contract. No, but he's coming up out of contract. So you look at Saints' top end, most of that top end is either been on big money or is about to retire or be delisted. Like you look at Carlton, that's where list management can go wrong. Then you look at Collingwood, they're still paying the contracts of Grundy, Trelaw. So you can make the mistake very early as well. Make the mistake very, very early, and you back the wrong horse. So I like what St Kilda are doing. It's going to be one big fee in a position that he's going to be the ruckman for 10 years should you bring him in.
Yeah. I think either way, we should be prepared.
And I think you'll get overs for Marshall as well. I genuinely think you.
For sure.
I hate to say it
went that way.
No, but I hate to say it. I think you know what you're doing, because Carlton will have to go for a ruckman. Essendon will have to look for a ruckman. He's opened up the Pandora's box, and I reckon Rowan Marshall is most overvalued in 6 months' time, because suddenly Essendon lose Draper, Adelaide are okay, but then they're sniffing around Riley O'Brien. Fremantle are sniffing around Melbourne, come in for Jackson. Suddenly, Rowan Marshall might be a second rounder. Suddenly, he's a first. We're desperate for him. There's a bidding war. It's smart business what you've done. Very impressed.
Yep.
And Collingwood, people laughed at them, but they knew they've got Jay Saxena, they've got McGuan coming in. Suddenly, they're looking very shrewd as well. They've done it. And Carlton are in the middle of 2026. You've got Cody Walker, you've got Harry Dean this year, you've got young players. Are Carlton clever enough to get themselves out of this and make a big play this year? This one's going to be interesting, because this draft, I want you all to remember these words. It's not deep, but if you're intelligent, you could change the makeup of your list in a trade period that's going to be heavily traded. If you're bold, you can find some gems in this draft. So Nick Austin, if you're watching this, stop being a stubborn dickhead. Stop listening to them fat cats above you. Hit this draft hard. Hit this draft hard. You might win.
Sorry, I know we probably want to move on, but just quickly, is this the last uncompromised draft before Tassie at the end of 2026?
Or is it uncompromised?
Is next year?
Is it ever uncompromised?
Yeah, mate. Have some more father-sons, right? Have some more fathers that can give you sons.
This is rare, because if you look at the top 40 talents, if you rank them now, 40% of them would be compromised, which is high. You're probably going to start to see it get worse as well. But at this stage, if we look at the under 16s, there isn't a plethora of NGAs as there has been the last 2 years. But you've also got to remember, once Tasmania come in, that's compromised with their picks. Even though they're trading, that's going to be hard to trade for. And this draft is a fascinating draft, because people are downplaying it. I want everyone to remember, this time last year, I did my May rankings and said that this was the most solid role-playing draft I've ever seen. Cal Toomey did an article saying it was a shit draft. And then a month after National Champs started, everyone started blowing up. Everyone started getting on board. Looking at the draft this year, if you are a mid-tier team, 10th to 18th right now, this is probably the draft you attack because you know the players that aren't going to be taken. Your Kings, your McGuans. You know they're not available. But if you're clever, you can look at it. And there is some very good ball users in this draft. So I think everyone's going to trade in this draft, and that's what Collingwood have St Kilda have started with your Rowan Marshall scam. I think if a list manager's clever out there, he can get involved and have a little bit of fun with this draft when everyone's not interested in it.
We shall see.
Shall we tip?
Yes.
Oh shit! There's still football to go.
Yeah, there's games. It's a ripper round. Like when I looked at it the other day, I thought, Jesus, they're all huge games.
They're all huge games. I love that.
Huge
games.
Look at that page. Look at that page. All
Well,
of them are rippers, aren't they?
This is the state of play as it stands. The ladder, albeit a little bit compromised, given a couple of teams have. Actually, most of the 8 have played the 12 games, apart from the Suns. Do you think, with the Dogs playing one more game, they would be in the 8?
The Dogs will be in the 8. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll finish.
Look at the percentage is huge.
Yeah.
It's like 3rd best or 4th best in the comp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have suggestions for lock of the week that they want to lock in?
Richmond.
What?
Gold Coast.
Richmond at the G.
Oh, what? Whoa. Can we talk about that?
Can we talk about that? Sydney have lost it, apparently. They're a rabble, according to...
A rabble, according to Wayne Milera.
It's at the G. Richmond are pretty good there. Richmond tend to play well against Sydney. They beat them there. I mean, I say that. They beat them there probably 10 years ago, and that was a great goal, but I'm going back pretty far. I don't know. I think they'll be up and about, Richmond. Did they have the bye this week, Richmond?
No.
They did,
they
didn't
nearly beat the frauds, GWS. They were a little bit more mature.
Yeah, so I reckon they'll carry that form in. Yeah.
Yep.
Go the Tigs.
Teresa. Can't hear me from the top.
Love you, Teresa.
Yeah.
Fun.
Great one.
Fun.
Very good. Very
fun.
good. Thanks, Teresa.
So my luck is Gold Coast against the Cats.
Ooh, in Geelong. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I based off nothing besides the fact that I think Gold Coast are going to beat the Cats. That's literally also going off. I just think this is the game where, look, I know they're 3rd on the ladder currently, but this will be the game where they win and they actually say to the AFL world, hey, we're not making up the numbers in the top 4 or in finals. We're here to play actual football.
Interesting.
When do you think the complaints from the media start about the Gold Coast concessions and how it's unfair?
As soon as they beat Geelong. As soon as they beat Geelong in Geelong, it'll come hard. Wait, they've had 12 academy players. They've all this or
it'll be in the lead up to the draft, and they'll say Ross was right. It's always 6 months later. Just give it a bit more time.
Yeah.
Happened with the father sons. It'll happen with those.
Pommy, do you have a lock of the week?
Yeah, a lot's been made about Adelaide. They've only beaten one side inside the top 8. They host the Lions, and similar to Swoop, I think teams are trying to discredit Gold Coast and Adelaide as the ugly ducklings of the top 4. So I think Adelaide beat Brisbane, and
that'll be huge.
I think
they join Gold Coast in the take as serious section.
I think that's a safe bet, to be honest. I'm surprised that anyone's shocked at that. They would, I would have them comfortably favourites in that game. Yeah.
I don't know. You've only got to read the media. That evidently Adelaide are getting but they're beating some shit teams.
I just think at Adelaide Oval they're a different beast. If it's at the Gabba, maybe it's different, but they're so good at home.
Where is Hands Oval? Is that Tassie?
It's Bunbury.
That's Perth. That's in Perth.
Oh, because they got those two. They got that 2 weeks.
They got the back-to-backs in Perth now, North, I think. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Bunbury. It's them ones they sold.
Ross is a big fan of club selling as well. That'll come up again this week.
Okay, I don't know if I really want to touch this game, but I'm leaning to the Eagles.
Honestly,
To
the
the
Eagles,
Eagles
yeah,
in
that-
for the
that would've been-
arrogance
Yeah, I think-
of North selling 2 games when they're trying to build a
Yeah,
brand.
I reckon that's it. Yeah, and Eagles are slowly improving. They've been competitive in the last couple of games since they beat us. So
Yeah.
I reckon they'll get it done.
Oh, the big game. The big game.
I am.
Oh,
Melbourne-
Carlton
Melbourne
don't win this by
Collingwood?
40 points. If Carlton don't win this by 40 points, fucking pack her up.
I
Essendon
am
were good
Owen-
against the
I'm
Lions.
0-4 when doing this for this team. I'm going to do it one more time. Carlton will beat the Bombers on Sunday night.
You better hope.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
It's just, I don't know if they've got the real cojones to lose this game and what will happen if they do.
They don't have the cojones to lose the game.
Yep.
You need cojones to lose the game?
Yep. To lose this
That's
game. Yep. You need real guts and courage to come out and not beat the Bombers on Sunday.
Does that scare you what Essendon did last week, though? With like all their, they were
good.
decimated and they were good.
Does it scare me? Doesn't scare me. I don't think the Bombers are as bad as what the commentary around them has been. They've got some spirit about them. I don't think they'll make the 8, but I think if you give them a sniff, they'll beat you. And that's the danger. I think. I mean, mate, we lost to Richmond. We're up 41. Lost to Richmond. So
Yeah, true.
anything's possible. So yeah, the Blues, they're going to beat the Bombers on Sunday.
I might
Fuck, they
actually-
want to.
I might actually go to that game.
There's going to be
My
about
mate's-
30,000 empty
my-
seats, so it should be.
My
easy
mate's
to
an
get tickets.
Essendon fan, so maybe I'll tag along. We'll see.
You have not seen a lower point than when we beat them, when we lost to them in 2023.
I remember
Probably-
watching that. Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't
Yeah,
remember that
that-
game.
It was
I
bad,
remember that
man.
game.
It
Yeah,
was,
they,
it was-
they flogged them.
yeah. Pommy came on and gave one of the greatest one-liners in fan cam's history.
Yeah, well, he can pre-plan another one this week. Well, I mean, just in case. I'm not saying they're going to lose. Yeah, Luke? Don't make me be the villain, mate. Everyone point at Luke.
I'm just laughing.
Luke
I'm
is
just
this guy
laughing.
up here, Brady Bunch. Look down on me, mate. Come on.
Jake's like the umpires. He makes the comment and then fucking cracks it at Luke for reacting to the comment.
I'm actually taking legal action on this. This is bullying. I don't like this.
Oh,
Okay,
fuck me.
No, I'd be surprised if Carlton don't win that. That's got
Alright.
Kerno 7 goals written all over it. I can feel it.
It's going to rain, so
Oh, is
maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
He'll kick a bag in the wet.
Yeah.
Doggies
Hawthorn?
over Hawks. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dogs
No,
easily.
no Sicily as well for 2 weeks. Not that he's been playing well, but he's a bit of a talisman for them. So,
Is he actually injured?
Yeah.
well, they
hit.
reckon it's
Oh, it's a hip. Okay.
he's done a Shakira.
Giants, Port Adelaide at Manuka.
Giants.
Giant.
Port.
Both teams.
No Vaughan Francis as well this week,
Yeah.
so that doesn't help Port. So it has
They're
to
good
be
at
Giants.
Manuka. They are good at Manuka, the Giants. What is that name of the ground now? What is it? I can't even read it.
Corroboree
Group.
Group Oval.
Oval Manuka. Okay.
Pommy?
When are we sending the Giants to Canberra? By the way,
What, Giants versus
That
Port?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2,000%. Port are a borderline football team at the minute.
Isn't-
So,
Did you say, isn't that Manuka?
oh, I
Oval?
meant
Isn't that
like
Canberra?
I meant like relocate them to Canberra, like have them
Oh,
as
yeah,
the
yeah.
Canberra Giants. Yeah.
And then the Pies just don't lose at the MCG on Monday against the D's,
We
right?
shouldn't.
Like it
Should be a
just doesn't
50-point win. Should be
We
a
gave you the
50-point win.
cheat code. Don't worry.
a 50-point win.
Oh,
You've changed
Well,
from
we
you've changed from 2 weeks ago when you were like, oh, it's a genuine 50-50 against North.
Well, I can't win, so I'm just gonna keep going hard.
No,
for
I
all-
like
for all
this
these
you.
games.
Honestly, ignore everyone else. mate. Chest out.
If we're a
Hey,
serious
chest up.
football club for the premiership, we should be beating this team, this rabble of a team, by 50 points.
Rabble.
Wow.
Man,
This rabble of a team.
Wow, you're going to go there. Fucking hell. Mate.
they'll be up for it. They're going to be up for it now.
They
They would have seen this.
Jake Malsham watching footy abroad at the moment. He's ready. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Malcolm's just put a picture of Luke on the board.
He probably already does. He used to run through me at Oak Park training when he was my captain in under 16s. Him and his mates used to do British Bulldogs and just run straight, put me in the middle and run straight through me because I was this fat
That
short
is-
kid.
That is a great fun fact.
Yeah, true story.
When does
If you
Collingwood
lost-
lose its next game?
Oh,
Who is it
I-
going to
I-
be again?
I know
West Coast
Nah.
at Marvel.
Do you play the Saints soon?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Saints
Marvel
right after the bye. Yeah,
at Marvel
we go
Saturday night.
back to back Marvel.
It's Collingwood's
see
game.
that.
It's Collingwood's game. Selling a game at
Yep.
Marvel, mate, against the Saints. That's risky. That's risky.
Oh, fucking hell. We got back-to-back Marvel games. It's like Kangaroos going to West Coast for 2 weeks. Wild. Back-to-back
Same
away
distance.
games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Same distance. Yeah, 4 hour. It's a fucking 4-hour plane ride from
You
AIA
can
to-
see the
to
losses
Marvel.
coming though towards the end of the year, can't you? Because by the Brisbane game, I can see you like just not taking players to Adelaide.
Oh, we're just gonna be taking we'll probably be taking
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you'll be wrapping up top 4, won't you? I reckon that's when the
Yeah.
losses will start coming, when you're locked in for a home final and you just start fucking about.
That's a good Bing Bong says probably Gold Coast away. That's a pretty good shout. Gold Coast are pretty good up there. So that's a Friday night. I'll be there. Hopefully it's not a loss because I'll be there. And it's a couple of days before my birthday. But
It'll probably be the Fremantle game, round 19, because that
On
would be the
this-
most Fremantle
on
thing
the
to do.
Sunday. Yeah, on the Sunday, like 3:20, getting done by Fremantle at the G. Fuck me. Could be the Carlton game. Genuine 50-50 that game in 4 weeks.
Oh.
He's just like, it could be all these games, but not Saints at Marvel. It couldn't be Saints at Marvel.
Couldn't be Saints at Marvel. No. Can't see us losing that one.
It's
We don't surprise teams at Marvel.
it's a lose-lose situation, that Carlton game, because if you win, it's like, yeah, whatever. If we win, it's like, oh, we've got top 4 sewn up and like doesn't mean much to us. Like, you guys do a very good job of controlling the narrative. It's amazing.
We
Well
do.
done.
We do. Good fun.
I fucking hate football. All right, guys, that's us. That's us for the night. It's 9 p.m.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Good session,
Good
guys.
show.
Yeah.
Thank
Have a
you,
great
everyone.
night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. AFL
You too.
26. Hey, it's coming. It's coming.
Yes,
Just-
we're doing it. We're doing it.
Just wait. Just wait.
In demand. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Peace out.
Good night, guys. Go
Good night.
Pies.
See you guys.